Ladies and gentlemen, today we're here with Sergio Pettis. He fights June 27th, Friday, PFL Chicago against Raufeon Stots.
Yes, sir.
How's it going today?
Man, it's going good. Just getting ready for the last couple preparations of camp, and we head out to work, man. Yeah. Unfortunately, fighting one of my good friends, but that's where we are in this point in my career. So, yeah, man, interesting times.
Before we get into fight talk, it was just Father's Day.
Yes, sir.
And you have your first kid on the way, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yep, first one, man.
How's life changed as you're getting ready to become a dad, really?
Man, a lot's changed. I got to give up my gaming room to my baby. So, I've been switching everything up, prepping his room out. My wife's, body's changing. She's going through different hormones. So definitely facing all that stuff while prepping for a fight. It's a little different, but it's about time for us. We've been with each other for 10 years, and
really?
I'm about to be 32 years old. So I think it's a good time to have my first kid.
Yeah. What games you play?
Call of Duty all day, baby.
Really?
Yes, sir.
No Fortnite?
I used to, but now it's all COD. Yeah, my boys play COD, so we switched it up.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So how's fight camp been going, considering you have a kid on the way? Has anything changed from that perspective?
I feel like I'm more focused. I have no time to mess around. It's just me, my wife, training every day. So nothing's really changed, man. I do this for a full-time living. Ever since I had my last fight in June of last year in Japan, I've been in the gym, so prepping for other things. I had boxing fights, I had 2 boxing fights, so I got to try different competition, test different waters, and yeah, now we're back in MMA in a cage. It's been since 2023 since I fought in a cage, so
yeah,
been a long time.
That was actually my next question. So you did what's it called, Risen?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Risen.
And that was in a cage or a ring.
Yes, sir, in a ring.
So what's it like? 2 years since being in the octagon?
Man, it's you miss it. It's been a while. Yeah, you miss it. You miss the canvas, the cage as it feel. Doing MMA in a ring is so different, and then boxing in general is a whole different experience as well. So I definitely miss the cage. That's where I was pretty much made,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What made you go to boxing earlier? That was this year, right?
Yeah, this year. I was just bored. I didn't really have any MMA competition set up, and they allowed me to step outside of my contract and try new things. So I did a boxing fight out in Miami. It was just a little kind of test in the waters thing. Didn't count on my career or my record. And then I fought over in India. There's an opportunity in India. So I was like, you know what? I kind of wanted to go to India and try boxing as well. So I went out there and fought one of their top boxers, 3-time champion. Moved up a weight class too. I was fighting at 147. So yeah, it was a big test for me.
That probably felt good being up though.
Oh man, it felt good, man. The flight didn't feel good. It took forever to get out there, and India's a whole different ballpark in general. They got a lot of different rules compared to the United States. Right. So competing over there was a whole different experience, man. Opened my eyes to a lot of things, and it was fun. Good times.
So moving forward, PFL Chicago. Obviously, you're fighting one of your old teammates in Raufeon.
Yep.
How is your past relationship with him kind of shape your preparation for the fight, considering he was one of your old teammates?
Yeah, man, it's rough. We were training with each other for about 7 years. So it was a long time of us being friends, teammates. We pushed each other to new levels. I feel like we got each other really good. So facing him is just going to be interesting. I've been trying to wrap my head around it these last couple weeks. But I know once those cage doors close, we'll both be in go time mode. We're both professionals. We've been doing this for a long time. So once those doors close, it's just going to be focused. We've talked about it before the fight. Before I took the fight, he gave me a call. He said, "Hey, man, I'm hearing you're next, and I heard you took the fight." And I was like, yeah, man, I unfortunately need to take the fight. It's been a long time for me, and I got a kid coming. He just had his 3rd kid, so we both are doing this for our families, man. And yeah, ever since I went over to the PFL Bellator route, I've been going against my old coaches, my old teammates. When I fought Pitbull, my coach of 7 years, my jiu-jitsu coach, was actually in his corner. So
seriously?
Yeah, it was interesting, man. I've been facing some weird times, but MMA.
Feels so weird.
Oh, it's so weird. He knows my skills, my games, but yeah, it was just weird to see my old coach that was once cheering on my opponent. I'm like, damn, what a wild sport.
Yeah. So I did a virtual interview with Raufeon on Monday, and I asked him the same question. I'm not going to tell you his response until after. But is there any animosity on your end going into the fight, or is it all just friendly competition?
I think it's just competition. That's what we do. This is our job. This is how we provide competition and currency, man. Like that Drake song, that's all we got to focus on when it's time. But no animosity. It's all business.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I asked him, he was like, "Man, fuck Sergio." And then he was like, "No, I'm just kidding."
Yeah, man.
But so this is the second time you two have been scheduled to fight each other.
Second time, yes.
You guys were gonna fight Bellator in like 2022.
Yep.
Which was like right after he left Rufus Sport.
Yeah, right after.
What's changed in this fight compared to if you would have fought in 2022?
Yeah, I mean, when we were gonna fight in 2022, I tore my ACL, so I felt like the fight was tainted. I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to fight Raufeon. I just felt like it was all bad luck and juju. But 3 years later, I feel like we both gained a lot. He's got a lot of competition skill. I faced some top killers in the division, so I feel our skills have gotten better. And in 2022, I feel like we would have known each other a little bit better, skill-wise. Where now, 3 years later, things would be completely different for both of us. So I think either way, it would have been a fun fight, 2022, or how it's going to be next week. But I think next week is going to be a good showing for both of us.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously, Raufeon he's a Division II national champ.
Yep.
You spent a lot of time with him in the gym. How was your preparation to are you confident that you can stop his wrestling game plan if that's what it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a wrestling game plan for sure. I think he'll test the waters on the feet a little bit, just because he's been striking a lot, and why not? But I feel like all my fights have been against wrestlers. I fought some top tier wrestlers. I fought Henry Cejudo's, I fought Brandon Moreno's, I fought Patchy Mix, Pitbull, Juan Archuleta. A lot of these guys have been trying to take me down my whole career. So it's not just one training camp that prepared for Raufeon. It was my whole life, my whole game plan. I'm a stand-up fighter. So I've been fighting guys that try to take me down and hold me down my whole career.
That's got to be so frustrating.
It is, man. It is.
Because all their game plans just get you to the ground.
For sure. I mean, that's where I showed I've lacked some skills. Obviously, my last loss, Horiguchi took me down a couple of times. Patchy Mix before that took me down, submitted me. So, I mean, definitely going to be interesting to see how Raufeon does it, how he gets the job done.
100%. So let's say, perfect world, best weight cut of your life, you're feeling the best you've ever felt in your entire life. Paint me the picture. How do you get the job done?
Man, you know what? I have a couple ideas. I want to go out there and do some trick moves, kind of putting some swag on them. Keep the fight standing, of course. That's my whole goal. Obviously, hitting them with a good shot would be cool, but at the same time, it wouldn't be cool because, we're boys and shit. So it's like, however I get the job done, I get the job done. Perfect world is I come out with the dub and I get a title shot after this. That's my perfect world.
Yeah. He was saying perfect world for him. Takedown, submission, nobody gets hurt.
Yeah. Unfortunately, mine is I have to hurt him or I have to strike him because I'm a striker. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes.
100%.
Yep.
So with your move to PFL, you just said you're looking for a title fight within the organization after this. Is there any aspirations to maybe get back into the UFC eventually, or do you want to stay within PFL?
Well, right now I'm pretty much committed to the PFL. I'm going to be, I got 2 fights with them this year, and next year I'll be in the tournament. So right now it's just straight PFL. Whatever happens after that, hopefully some good things happen. Hopefully I win that title, and then I get the tournament, get extra $500K on top of all my purses. So. That's my goal at the moment. UFC is always in the back of my head. I was there for 6 years, and I do miss it at times. It was a fun organization. I've had some goals that I didn't get to at the point when I was going through it. I was young when I got there, man. I was 20. Looking back at it,
it's crazy. You're only 31.
Yeah. I was 20 years old when I got in the UFC, and looking back at it, I got teammates now that are 20 years old fighting locally. I'm like, damn, I can't believe I was fighting top killers at that age, and So I think it'd be a different go around this time in the UFC, but yeah, man, we'll see where things lead off. I got a kid coming too, so there's some important things that are popping off in my life.
Right. Yep. Man, they're jipping you down to $500K instead of the
I know, the old mill, man. I mean, I don't know how they were doing it, handing out a mill to every weight class. That's got to add up quick.
Yeah.
So the 500,000. I mean, it's cool in general. 500K is 500K.
That's true. Yeah. So you're in the tournament next year for sure.
100%. Yeah, I'll be in the tournament 100%.
And that's you're gonna be fighting. That's the no elbows.
No, this time there's elbows. Yeah, they're allowing elbows.
In the tournament,
they're allowing elbows. Even this year they allow the elbows too. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they switched up that rule. It's crazy, right? They allow elbows and they cut the fee from $1 million to 500K. So interesting, but
that is kind of wild.
New business motto.
So the reason I asked about the if you want to go back to the UFC, because we're seeing all these guys from Bellator moving to the UFC, like Patchy Mix just fought. What did you think about his performance?
When you get in the UFC, it's a different feel. I felt that even when I was there, the lights are different. You got a lot more people watching. You got some pretty famous people watching, so it puts a lot of pressure on you. So I could see that with his performance and Patricio's performance. It was just more of trying to figure it out, testing the new lights, new waters. I think once they get their groove going, things will get better for them. But at the same time, the UFC has some top killers, man. You know, he fought Yair Rodriguez for his welcoming fight, and then Mario Batista is on a 7-fight, 8-fight win streak. So, man, those are tough fights. Even Aaron Pico, he's fighting Movsar Evil. They're testing those guys ASAP.
Yeah, he's getting thrown right
there's no easy fights when you're coming from another organization into the UFC. So, and you know, I personally believe, you know, like the UFC has some top dogs, 100%. I've been knowing that.
What do you think about that Aaron Pico fight?
Man, I wish the best for Aaron Pico, but I just think Movsar's got too much for him. You know, he's got too much skill set. He's faced some top dogs and shown he's successful in the UFC. So, first fight in the UFC is always hard. That's all I got to say.
So, final question, making this quick. What can the fans expect from you June 27th? And if you want to send a message to Raufeon right now.
Yeah, I just think June 27th, you're going to see a new me. You know, I've faced a lot of adversity these last couple years. My skills have gotten better, and I'm ready to show who I really am. I only got a couple years left in my career, so it's all performance and all going out there and having fun, doing what I do best, fighting.
100%. Well, thank you for your time.
Appreciate you.
Good luck on June 27th.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Good job. Good interview.
Thank you.
Yep.